right, so go ahead and put up the first slide, which is should be the agenda. And I can't take really any credit for any of this because Jake was super helpful and he had a whole slide deck that he put together and Shirley spent a lot of time on. And then I went in and said, this is awesome. And I'm going to cut almost all of it. But it has a ton of good information, and that's what we're going to send out to you afterwards, because what I want to show you now, I want to make sure that everybody's listening and paying attention. So thank you very much, Jake, for putting all of that together and for being here. And thank you, Luke, for being here too, because surely I hopefully don't explain anything wrong, but anything else that you guys can add to the conversation or anything else that you want to add, because you guys are the experts, please jump in at any time. So what are we going to do? Why are we here? Well, boobs, of course. How do we do the bra fitting conversation? You guys have indicated almost every single time Matt sends out a timesheet questionnaire that the one thing that you are most uncomfortable with is the bra conversation. And that it makes sense. We don't really talk about it. We expect a female to kind of take it, or just a woman walks into our store, grabs a bra and checks out with it. But really we can be doing a lot more with it, which means we don't have to send as many back when we send back the Run Happy shop. But we also allow women to feel a lot better about what they've got going on, how they feel when they run, how they feel in general, and just make them feel more confident in themselves. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about why women hate their boobs, believe it or not. And then we'll talk about the fitting, the fabled fitting, because I'm interested to know how many people on this call have actually done a fitting. And I know why you haven't, but we're going to talk about it and how to do it and how to do it confidently. We'll talk about what's in a bra. I've got a couple bras over here. I've got one right here. What does this mean? And how does it make a woman feel better about themselves? How does it make them feel more comfortable? And then we're going to talk about how we do it the Confluence way. Initially, I had the Confluence touch in that bullet point, and then after much thought, I was like, oh, the Confluence touch in a bra fitting conversation seems weird, so I changed it to the Confluence way. So that being said, Matt, go ahead and take down this slide so that everybody can have, we have the whole like grid view up of everybody. And I want everybody on the count of 3 to say boob. All right. So 1.
And do we want to take off our mute?
Unmute.
Yeah, everybody better take off mute.
All right, everyone on mute.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Boob.
Boo.
Boob.
Yeah, so it was weird and creepy. And
That was a good icebreaker.
Thank you.
Zoom really adds to that.
It's about to get better, guys.
We're not going to make them say nipple.
Thank you. Jake, take it away. Make them say nipple, Jake. I want you to make
Everybody, nipple on 3. 1, 2, 3. Nipple.
I feel like there was a
I
couple.
close my window. Are people going to be weird?
Yeah. Why is Jenna
My
yelling?
neighbors are going to be like, what was she doing?
You're nursing. You can say all this and it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yes. So why do we say that? Because number one, I want to make you guys as weird as humanly possible, because that's how a woman feels when she walks into our store and pulls a bra off of a rack and says, I've never been fitted before. I don't know what size I am. Can you help me? Because that doesn't happen. But also because I'm going to say boob and nipple on this presentation, and I want you guys to be cool with it. So now we've all said it, and I'm not the only one. Now, what I want to do is I want to ask, what do you guys think when a woman walks into our store? She's at the rack, she's looking at bras, and she's kind of, you know how they do. They kind of go through it and they're looking, and then they just kind of walk away. That's an opportunity, and it's an opportunity to make somebody feel comfortable. So what do you not do? What is the thing? What do you not say during a bra fitting? So however you want to do it, raise your hand, and then we'll just kind of call and let people go. What do you not do? Chris.
You probably shouldn't walk up to the girl and say, "Hey, I've been noticing your boobs. and wondering if you wanted me to touch them.
Yeah, that would be bad. That would be super bad. Yep. Perfect. What else? Jake.
So you look like you could use a bra.
Yep, that's really bad. It's almost like you've said that before. All right, what else? Heather, I know you got something. Nothing. What do you
Shy
not
dad.
say? What do you not say? Hey, mind if you pop that top off and I get a feel real quick just to see what's going on? That would be bad. That would be bad.
Hey, let's get you in a bra. Awkward.
Nobody else wants to be weird.
It's kind of center of gravity. I'm not that awkward.
Well, so there's a lot of ways, right? There's a lot of ways to make this weird. Even if you're nervous, you're uncomfortable, you don't want to talk about their boobs just as much as they don't want to talk about their boobs. So how do you make them feel comfortable? How do you get them to the point where they're willing to have that conversation with you? And not only that, but they're willing to let you into the dressing room to fit them appropriately, to check on the sizing of the bra, to make sure that it fits them right for them. Our slogan is customize your fit, right? And there's customize your run, but it's really customizing that fit. It's customizing not just a shoe, but everything to make sure that they're the most comfortable when they go out for that activity, when they go out for that run or walk, whatever it may be. And what you'll kind of see throughout this whole, hopefully throughout this whole presentation, is that a bra fitting is not a whole lot different than a shoe fitting. It's picking up what they're telling you. It's listening to what's going on, their lifestyle, the things that they are giving you, and then you're putting together this puzzle and helping them figure out how to add one more piece of value to their daily life. So, Matt, could you please put up the next slide? Not this one, the next one.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to have Jake and Luke, however you guys want to handle this, but if you guys could, as you are the experts, if you could just kind of walk us through some interesting bra facts, why women hate their boobs, why this is such an issue, and what we can do to change it.
Yeah. So, one thing, so I started working with the bra business about 8 years ago. And I just learned that, like, if I know more than the customer knows, it makes me feel so much more confident going into these conversations. And it didn't take me long to realize that there's just a lot of misinformation out there and a lot of things that the customer doesn't really know, that immediately elevates my credibility in her book. And so, and as soon as you go up that ladder, as soon as you start to have these conversations, as soon as you start to spit these facts out, your credibility goes to a point that they're willing to listen, and it makes that conversation really easy. Luke and I have hosted so many events where, we get in front of the room as the bra expert and we get a bunch of funny looks, and then we start talking about this stuff, and we have a crowd of people around us ready for a bra fit. And, the reality is like, if you get the customer into the fitting room, we've won. And so it starts with these conversations, though, and these little bullet points. And the reality is that 80% of women are actually in the wrong size. And that's a really big problem, because they're coming in looking to you guys to be the experts in their run, not just their running shoes, but in their entire run. And so, it's up to us to get them in the right size, just like it is in footwear. And this part's really crazy. And I think a lot of women don't realize this, but on average, they change bra size 5 times in their life. That can be due to weight loss, weight gain, time of the month, pregnancy. My wife changed size 3 times in her pregnancy alone. And so, I think that there's a lot to this point, this fact that they're changing size 5 times in their life. Most women get fit once when they're very young, and they never get fit again. And this is the key to our success, I think, is just making them realize that like you should be fit for a bra every time you're fit for a shoe. It's just it's part of that process. It's part of that way that they're going to continue to enjoy their run. And Luke is going to take us through the next 2 bullet points here, but these are all great conversation starters.
Yeah, like Jake just said, you should definitely get fit once a year because your bra size does change, and on average bras do last about a year. So this is a great way like to transition the footwear conversation into the bra conversation. Shoes shouldn't last a year. I always like to say, your bra shouldn't see a birthday or your shoes shouldn't see a birthday. So, just ask like, hey, when was the last time you were fit for a bra? Good way to start that conversation. The other thing that Jake talked about was roughly 80% of women are in the wrong size bra. At Brooks, we do a ton of research and testing. And one of the things that we found was that when women are in the wrong size bra, they compensate and shorten their stride for the lack of support. And they shorten their stride about 4 centimeters each step. And over the course of a marathon, that adds up. Doesn't sound like a lot. It's only 4 centimeters. But actually, over the course of a marathon, it adds up to about the extra mile of extra effort. So that's pretty significant. There's a lot of talk about, these 4% shoes, and they make you 4% more efficient. But if you add up a mile over the course of a marathon, it's about 4% of the marathon. So these are actually like 4% bras. It's pretty significant. At Brooks, we call it the hidden mile. So it's kind of
performance
a cool
enhancing bras.
feature. Yeah.
You're muted, Elizabeth.
I was saying really good things too. That's a bummer. No, I was just saying that the shoes shouldn't see a birthday. That's something we say all the time. And I feel like every day I say it several times to people who come in and say like, oh, geez, I haven't been here in like 2 years. And I'm like, oh my God. If it's a woman that's coming in and says, yeah, it's been a while, how do you uncover that information, right? So Matt, go ahead and go to the next slide. The majority of people who walk into our store come in, they stop, they look around, and then they wait for us to kind of greet them. And we say, hey, welcome. What brings you in today? And they're more often than not going to say shoes. That's our opportunity for everything, not just bras, but for everything. And so customer walks into the store, they're looking for shoes. We take them to the back. We do our fitting process. And then while you're doing that, while you're doing a fitting process, and this is why I say like that shoe fitting is not a whole lot different from a bra fitting, is that we're uncovering this information. So today, for example, Chris had a woman walk in who she was with her mother and she was with her 2 kids, and they were very young kids. And Chris did the shoe fitting with her, and then she was just kind of browsing the store afterwards. And she picked a couple things off the sale rack, and she walked over to the bra rack, and she took one off and she looked at it and then she put it back. And so this is where you're kind of looking at the lifestyle. So she didn't tell you that she just recently, relatively recently, had 2 very young kids. She didn't tell you that she's either had weight gain or weight loss or anything. You don't know anything, but you know that she's got 2 kids. You know that she wants to she's looking to get back into it. She's got a pair of shoes. She's got a pair of leggings. She's got a pair of shorts in her hand. She picked up a bra and she put it back. Why? We don't know yet, but you can infer a bunch of things from that. So I walked over and I said, hey, have you ever been fit for a bra before? And she said, no, actually, but I really need to. I actually just lost, she said, I just lost 40 pounds from my pregnancy, and so nothing fits me anymore, and I'm just not very comfortable. And I said, yeah, no, I totally get it. And you start having that conversation with her, and you and you build that rapport. And so we kind of brought up, like, be the expert. You know more than she does about that specific bra, about that rack of bras, because there's a lot of them, and there is surely one there that's going to be good for her. So how do you have that conversation? There's also in I think it's in all of our stores, but that marathon training pamphlet that Jenna created that has that information in it. So if you're not comfortable walking up to a woman and saying, "Hey, have you ever been fit for a bra before?" That may scare somebody. And a good way to do that is hand that pamphlet to her and say, "Hey, are you training for anything? And even if you're not, this is just some good information about the products we carry, especially bras. You know, that's a scary topic." There's a lot of different ways to get into that conversation. All right, so Matt, go ahead and take down this slide. And that's just kind of like customizing the customer that walks into our store. You just got to be looking for that information. You got to be uncovering, you got to be listening to her constantly. And by the time you get to the point where you can say, "Have you ever been fit for a bra?" she should theoretically already be comfortable with you because you've already built that with her. So what happens then when she says, "Oh yeah, I would love that. I've never been fit before." Great. What do we do? And then you're like, "Oh shoot, now what?" So now what? So some best practices. How do you get her from looking at this giant rack of bras to picking the right one for her, because she doesn't know what an adjustable strap means or what a scoop back versus a racer back means? How do you get to that point? So first and foremost, make her comfortable, keep it light, however you guys want to do that, however you do it, be yourself. Rack. I keep saying rack, but but be you. And the way that I am even having this conversation with you guys is not necessarily the same way that I would have that conversation with a woman. You have to pick up on what she's giving back to you. Is she really nervous? Is this super uncomfortable for her? Is she like, "Yeah, please, let's do this"? Like, because I've had that woman too before. You kind of have to pick up on that throughout the whole process.
And just to kind of like back that up, in my experience, they're not as nervous as you think they are. And it's like, it's more of a reflection of your nerves. If you go in confident and comfortable, they're going to be confident and comfortable. Like I said, Luke and I have hosted so many events where first you start to fill it out and you're like really uneasy about it. And then the next thing you know, you have a line of 20 women waiting to get fit at an event, and it's like totally normal. Like the women actually, they just want their run to suck less. Okay. Like they want their run to be more comfortable. They want their run to suck less. And if you can help them with that, it doesn't matter who you are.
Yep. And I don't care what situation, if you're a female on this call, I don't care what's going on between here and here on your body. You have a personal story about what works best for you. So whether there's a lot there, whether there's not a lot there, you're going to get every single woman that comes in there. And if you're able to either relate to them with your own personal story or what bra you're wearing, then, or you can say, "Oh, I just had a customer who did," obviously you're not giving personal information out, but you're relating to them. You're telling them, "I just had the same exact situation walk in. Here's what worked best. Here's what we found," things like that. Like relate with them, make them feel comfortable. That's what's going to make them feel comfortable and kind of make this go a little bit easier.
And if you're a guy, definitely talk about what your girlfriend, what your wife likes, like talk about those things. It breaks down some barriers for sure.
And even just from a technical, like this isn't the most exciting thing to tell a woman, but even if you're like, "Yeah, we all get trained on these bras. We all get trained on how to do this process," so that they know it's not you being like, "Hey, you want to go into a fitting room?" Like obviously that's not what's happening, but you might find women who come in who do feel that way. So letting them know, again, be the expert, know more than they do about what's going on, and that it is more than just taking a bra off a rack in Target, taking it into a fitting room, trying it on, saying, "Yep, this works," and then leaving with it, because that doesn't work. That's why they end up in our store.
So actually, here's a great one for you guys, a good resource. All right. Jenna just had a baby. Keep that in mind. So when we talk about, like Jake was saying, my girlfriend, my wife, if you don't even have one of those stories, use Jenna. All right. Say, one of the owners of the company, she just had a baby. Her bra size changed, and she's been going through the same struggle as trying to figure it out to be more comfortable. So, yeah, that's always there as a resource.
Perfect. Yeah. And yeah, any of those, your friends, your family, your like any of that. So another thing that I have found that, and this is just kind of a personal, as a female, I'm able to say, like, hey, what have you found comfortable in the past? What do you usually wear? Right? That's what do you usually wear? And it doesn't matter if you're male or female. If you ask, what do you usually wear? They're probably going to tell you, geez, I don't even know. I can't even tell you the last time I bought a bra. Or it is literally that I think I bought a Champion bra on clearance at Target one time. Like, and you know what that bra looks like. Again, I don't care if you're male or female. You know what that looks like, and it's probably not working for them. So finding out, what do you usually wear? Is it comfortable? Maybe they love it. Maybe there's a feature of that bra that they really liked that we can do better. Ask what kind of style they prefer. And if they don't know, let them know that that's okay. That's okay that you don't know. That's why we're here. We're going to find that out for you. Start getting an idea for what their preferences might be. And again, keep it light. That's why I made you guys say boob and nipple at the beginning of this. I want you guys to keep it light. You need to be comfortable with it. Even if you're not necessarily comfortable with it, they are going to feel some kind of weird about it. Keep it light. Let them know that you're there to help them, and that's it.
Maybe this is a good segue into the fitting segment, but also ask them what size they normally wear. Like a lot of times they'll tell you small, medium, large. And if they do, that is a great segue into, we need to get you fit, because that is not your bra size.
And here's a question, and if you're not comfortable answering, that's okay. But also, let me remind you, you said nipple right before the conversation started. How many of the females on this call can tell me right now what their bra size is? Right? And like, that's okay. Yeah, like there's some like, oh, I think, right? But have you fit yourself yet? Like, have you been fitted? Have you, like, I can't even with confidence tell you what my exact size is. And I'm not going to make things weird and do it for you right now, but I am going to do it here on my friend, Busty Betty.
I'm a 34A, by the way. Done.
I'm pretty sure Justin did get fit by Chloe once, so he might know.
Justin, why didn't you raise your hand?
I do recall a picture where Chloe fit Justin, so he does have a size.
I can't see what he shared, so somebody tell me. But
it's a picture of Chloe fitting him for a bra.
oh, perfect.
Told you.
And Justin would like to be seated with whatever size he gives you after this conversation. So, all right. So yes, perfect segue into the fitting. And I'm going to go through a kind of mock fitting right now. I think, Goshen, do you guys have the busts? I can't remember what rack or the things that you guys have, but yep, I stole this right from the store and brought her home with me, which was weird to walk out with, but it is what it is. So what do you do when you measure somebody? There's a couple different measurements that you want to take. Does every store have these? Because that I'm not actually sure, but does every store have this? Okay, cool. So this is going to be a really awesome tool because we use it for a lot of things. We use it to measure our online orders. But when a woman walks up to you and you're not prepared to be fitted, if she walks up and is like, hey, can you fit me real quick? And your answer is going to be, yeah, no problem. Because these things tell you exactly what to do and how to do it. If you look on the end, and we'll go through this, but at the end of these things, it literally says, take the band, subtract it from the bust, and then you get the cup. And the cups are all listed. They're also listed underneath there of what it equates to, which I'll explain more in a minute. but underneath here, sorry if this is making a lot of noise here, but when you're measuring a female, it's going to tell you right in here what that adds up to. So what that, what the sizes kind of add up to, because not all of the Brooks bras are cup sized. Some of them are small, medium, large. So it kind of gives you that equivalent here. So when in doubt, grab your phone, pull out your calculator, make sure you have this here, but you really don't even need that. So take a look at this next time you're working.
It's also a good conversation starter. If you just are wearing it around your neck, you know, it's really good to start that conversation, and it makes it look like you know what you're doing.
Yep. And they aren't looking at it. They don't know that all of the information is right here and you don't have it memorized. Like it's really awesome. This was my very first fitting. I panicked and I was like, well, I have boobs. I know what to do. But I didn't know what I was doing, but this literally walked me through the whole thing, which was really cool. So you get a female into the fitting room. She wants to try on a bra and you say, okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take a couple measurements, and usually a female is familiar with the fact that you're going to have to take some measurements of her bust and the band. She knows she's probably going to have to, you're going to be up close and personal. So
I just want to interject, as a guy, I find it easier to measure from the side, by the way. Because if you're in front, it's like this weird eye contact thing. If you're behind them, they can't see you. So as a guy, I think it's always best to measure from the side and have them hand the tape around. You know, it just makes it a little bit easier on them, gives them a little more confidence in you.
Yep, 100%. And what I've also found is if a woman goes like this right away, it's a really weird subtle cue that they're comfortable with you doing this. If they don't, if they just kind of stand there, then yeah, definitely being on the side where they can see you, there's really no surprises. Have them do it. Have them tell them what they're doing so that they know that they can go home and confidently measure themselves and do this fitting themselves. Have them do it. Grab a pen, write this stuff on your hand. You see that everywhere. You let them do it and let them take the lead so that they feel even more comfortable, but more confident as well in doing this fitting and knowing that they're getting the right fit.
Love that.
So, all right. So let's say I'm a guy, right? I'm a guy. I can't even pretend to be a guy here, but you're going to take some measurements. I personally, when somebody wants to be fit, my personality at that point, they're pretty comfortable with me. I've already made a couple jokes, more than likely. And I'm like, I had one woman who I was like, all right, so I'm going to get a little up close and personal. She's like, that's okay, no problem. And that's when she went like this and like she was ready. She knew that we were going to take some measurements. But if she's not like, yep, let's do this, then let her know what you're about to do. Give her the expectation. It's just like when somebody puts a hoka on for the first time. You want to let them know what they're going to experience when they stand up out of that chair. It's going to be weird. You want them to know that I'm going to take a measurement of your band here, your band size, and then I'm going to take a measurement of your bust size. And then we're going to figure out your cup size from there and see what fits best. So she already knows that you're going to be in a couple different areas, right? If it's you. So the band is going to be the area right underneath her rib cage. Well, the fullest part of her rib cage. So the area right underneath her boobs here. So you're going to, if you're doing the fitting, if not, let her do this, but you're going to wrap it around and you're going to adjust it so that obviously the 0 adds up. I don't know how well you guys can see what's going on here, but I've already pre-measured Betty here. So you're going to wrap it around, but you're going to look for where, because there's a little bit of space at the end of the thing here, you're going to look for where the 0 hits that number. And so I can't see what he typed in, what Jake typed in there. You can interrupt me if you want.
Yeah, I just said when you're measuring the band measurement, you want to come really snug against the rib cage, because you also want the band to fit snug. It's the anchor of support in the bra. So, I think I hear a lot of people say they get bra burn and stuff, and usually that happens because the band is too loose.
Yep. Yes. And so I apologize for my measurement here, like slipping all over the place because she's plastic. but yes. And so the best way to do that, to get the most snug fit, is to have her exhale or breathe in and then let it go. And when it's all the way out, pull it tight, and get the measurement. All right, so you get the measurement. Her band here came out to 28. All right, so we got 28. Get a pen if you can remember it, great. If not, I can't. Grab a pen, write it down, 28. All right, so that's your band number. Now we're gonna measure the bust. So the bust is going to be the fullest part of her boobs, right? We also may just say nipple because usually that's where the nipple's going to be. Sometimes, well, not usually, but sometimes. We'll use nipple again here in a little bit, don't worry. But so you're gonna take this. This should not be snug. This should not be snug. This should not be tight. This is going to be a looser fitting measurement. So you go ahead, take a look here. Okay, usually it's not falling down during the fitting. And this measurement is 40. So again, write it down, whatever you need to do. At this point, if you can do the quick math, you're going to subtract 28 from 40. If not, pull out your phone, grab a calculator, doesn't matter. Just make sure that she knows you know what you're talking about. You want the right measurement for her. So the difference is 12. So 12 comes out to, if you don't have all of the cup sizes memorized, which none of you will ever. Jake, do you even have the cup sizes memorized?
Yeah, it's 4 centimeters starts at A, so, and then it just goes up from there.
Perfect. See, and that's why he's an expert. That's why he works. So a 12 inches is the difference between the bust and the band. That comes out to a G because this tells you so. So that's how that tells you where to go in terms of the fitting.
Also on the band size, she measured 28, but if you look on the tape, you used to have to do a bunch of math and algebra to get the band size. It actually will tell you under the centimeter or the inches what the exact band size is as well. And if she falls on the middle of like a 32 and a 34, you're going to want to scale down to try to get her into the tighter band. Again, if it's not comfortable for her, once you get it on her, then you go with what she prefers. But you know, the sizing is really a guideline here, just like in footwear.
Yes, and thank you, because I did that I forgot that, but yes, that's important too, because that's going to, like Jake said, like that this needs to be snug. And so when she does put the bra on, you get the right size for her. You've already you got an idea of what she might like or what she might be interested in, or the information that you've already picked up on. So the woman that I was with earlier, who she just lost 40 pounds. She may or may not, like, she might want something adjustable, but she also she admittedly was like, yep, I'm still fuller. I'm still breastfeeding. So with that information, you may or may not know, and that's okay if you don't know this and you don't just immediately infer this, but her breast size is probably going to change at some point. Like if she just had a baby, she's still breastfeeding, it might change again. Having an adjustable strap might be a really good option for her. Does she have a lot of back issues? So do her shoulders hurt a lot? Does she talk about these things when she's running, when she's walking? All of that information that you can ask her to at that point, if she's willing to do a bra fitting, ask her these questions, because that's going to lead you to the right bra. We're not going to go through all the different bras tonight, but if you're unfamiliar, which I know most of you are because you've already told us in your timesheets, ask your managers, ask somebody on duty tomorrow or the next time you're working to walk you through them, or let us know. And we can have Luke and Jake talk to us, or we can do this again. We can have them stop by. Like, we can make sure that you guys feel confident in talking about all the different types of bras. So, all right. So we talked about, all right. So we get her into the right size. So fitting. So Matt, could you put up the presentation again? All right, so this information, this is just kind of the process of fitting, which we'll send to you guys, which we don't have to go over again. Go to the next slide. I think it's gonna be the next one. Okay, this picture here. So a couple of things you're gonna wanna look for. If she's comfortable and she opens the door and she says, okay, I'm ready, you wanna look for a few things. Number one, you'll immediately be able to tell, is she comfortable? Does she look uncomfortable? Is she standing there with her shoulders up? Is she super hesitant? You know, look for those the body language hints first, but then look at how the bra is actually fitting on her. So this bottom band tension. So look for this. Is it super tight? Is it like digging into her skin? Does this not fit? There's 3 different settings on these bras, which if you haven't gotten up close and personal with our bras, get up close and personal with them. There's different settings for the bra, so there is wiggle room to play with in these settings. The strap tension. Is it digging into her skin? Is it way too tight? Is it way too loose? A way to figure out if it's not fitting appropriately is you can always look for this kind of, it's like a buckle in the fabric on the side here that shouldn't necessarily be happening. However, if she's comfortable and she really likes it, that's her decision. That's not for you to tell her. That's the only place where it differs, I think, from shoes, is that you know that somebody needs a thumb's width of space in between the tip of their toe and the tip of the shoe. You don't know what your customer needs for her boobs, all right? And you can't tell her what she knows best. If she likes that fit, then that's what works for her, and that's okay. But you can usually get some pretty good information from the way that it fits right in here as well. And then here's where it gets a little interesting, because the way that it should fit is, and this is why I had you all say nipple as well, one of the many reasons, but when a woman puts on a bra, what a lot of people don't tell you, and for the men, if you don't know this, then welcome to the world of bras. You should, and this is for any bra, a sports bra, a regular bra that you buy from Victoria's Secret, whatever, a woman should bend over, reach in, pull up her bra so that the nipple, or pull up her boob so that the nipple is in the center of the cup, and that's how it should fit appropriately. That's where you want her breast to be sitting, because if they're, and again, you'll see it if she's wearing it and it doesn't fit right, either there's too much space up here, so there's literal space in between the bra and her chest, or it's her boobs are coming out of the bra. That's not good either, and that's not the right fit for her. So if you feel comfortable, that's a tricky one that you can say, hey, all right, so here's how you get the right fit. A lot of women know that, but if not, and it looks like it's not fitting right, say like, hey, well, do you mind, or I don't even know, like, not do you mind, but try adjusting a little bit, like try playing with it a little bit to see if you can get the right fit.
If you want to get technical with the language, just make sure the full volume of your boob is sitting in the cup.
Perfect. Thank you, Jake. Okay, bend over, grab your boob, and pull it up.
Yeah. Just whip that thing around and
know when you're trying to like make your boobs look bigger, do that for a minute. Which is what it is, which every female is familiar with. So even if you do, like, yes, that language is perfect, and that's exactly how you're gonna get the right fit for her. So so those are the things to look for when she does have the bra on and she's asking for your advice again, like, yes, is this right? And that's where you can direct her from there. Now, a couple different types of bras. I only brought 2 home tonight because I didn't want to get fired, but I've got the 2 big ones are the scoop back, which is what our model here is wearing tonight, and a racer back. And so this is really poor demonstration, and I apologize because the screen is so small. But yes, there you go. So, I mean, the difference kind of speaks for itself. So a scoop back is literally going to come down farther on the back. A racer back is going to cross your back. They offer different kinds of support. Speaking from experience, a racer back works for me the best because I don't, unfortunately, have a whole lot to support up front. But somebody with a more full chest might appreciate the scoop back a little bit better because it's going to take some time off on the back. I mean, it really comes down to personal preference.
And I'll add a little bit here too, because one thing, there's a lot of people with shoulder mobility issues that cannot get a bra over their head. The scoop back is their preference because it's a lot easier to get on. So that's one big thing that we hear a lot is just, I can't get that bra over my head, so I'm gonna go with the scoop back.
Or women with like a larger chest sometimes prefer that because when the bra is sweaty, it's not always really easy to get it off over your head and all the chest tissue.
Yep.
And that's another thing too. So like, if you're sweaty, if the like all those different things, those features and stuff, we will come to in a couple of slides here, because that's something else, like all the different things just outside of the fit, the different things that all of these bras offer, because they are different. Like there's a lot of information there in the fitting, and I'm going to be sending this information out, the more detailed presentation that Jake put together. But any questions right now, or does anybody have any questions or want to add anything or anything at all?
So just a quick note regarding breastfeeding. It can change, a woman's breast size changes depending on how recently she's fed her baby even. Or can, it doesn't always change a lot, but sometimes it does. And that's where one of those really easily adjustable straps really will come in handy for a woman who's, you know, both losing weight and breastfeeding. I mean, it's definitely something to mention. If she doesn't love it, like I don't love that bra specifically. I like a different one better, but you know, it is something to mention to her, because she'll be like, oh yeah, that makes sense, you know.
I was gonna say too, one thing I ask women is what they're doing, like if they're just walking or if they're doing long distance running or gym workouts, because sometimes the styles of bras there too can affect what choices they want or what they want to try on and things like that.
Yeah, to simplify a little bit, you know, one thing we did when we redesigned all of our bras a couple of years ago is that we made them all high impact. So, you know, no matter what they're doing, I love that question still, because I think it still just gets that conversation going, and it further like gives you more credibility. So still ask it, but just know like you can feel confident selling them these bras to do everything from run to yoga to mountain climbing to whatever, you know.
And it even like, and I know we're kind of tailoring this conversation to the woman who's terrified and afraid to do anything, and she's got a fuller chest and this is her first time getting fitted. Like, I know that's where this conversation is tailored to, but like Kaylee, not to call you out, but you and I had a very brief conversation about a bra in the summer where we were like, wow, this is really cool. It actually fits like a crop. And so you can wear, like, if you get that customer that comes in and is saying like, this model may not be the most ideal topless running bra, but maybe that's what they're comfortable in. Or maybe I didn't bring it home, but like I already know exactly what bra I would run in topless with the bra from Brooks. Now I'm drawing a blank on it.
Three pocket.
Speckled one. Yeah, yes, exactly. Where, yes, and it's got the pocket in the back, right? That's the one that you might get that customer too. And so keeping that in mind, it's really kind of like there is literally a bra for every customer that walks through our doors, no matter what they're looking for. So any other questions? I'm not done yet, but the fitting, the measurements, that was a lot of info. So
Hey, Jake, or Luke, since you guys are males who have done plenty of bra fittings, as far as the fitting process, I would assume this might take a little bit more training just individually in our stores, but I would assume that like getting the female comfortable, you know, with our knowledge of the fitting process and the product is that's step one. You know, you win them over that way. I would assume you could do a fitting with somebody both from a male fitting standpoint comfort and the female comfort, where you helped them do the fitting, you know, kind of like we mentioned before, where you could just basically say, I'll walk you through it, I'll talk you through it and help you fit yourself, kind of.
Yeah, what I usually do if I'm working the floor is I'll say, hey, look, I've been doing this for this many years, I'm perfectly capable if you want me to, if you're comfortable with it, or, you can walk through it yourself, or we can find a female staff member, depending on what your options are that day. That's usually the way I go, is like, I just want to make this as easy as possible for you, the customer. Like that's kind of the way to go. And again, you'd be surprised at how many times they say, yeah, if you're good at it, go ahead and do it. I suck at it. So, you're the expert, you go ahead and do it. And like, you get to the fitting, and then it's like, after that, it's totally not an issue.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. I think that helps a lot because I think a lot of myself and male staff members might be hesitant just,
Yeah.
How do you start that process? But if you kind of like are a team with her,
Yeah.
and going on her comfort level and giving
And-
her
and
the lead.
I think like as she's doing it, don't expect her to get it perfect the first try, like make sure that you make that process like not frustrating for her. Like, oh, well, like, I think we had a little tilt in the measuring tape or whatever. Like just walk her through it really detailed. And like, again, don't make her feel defeated if she's not getting what she thinks her measurement is the first time.
Yeah, I would
I've
practice
also done
like,
it where I will take a look at, I'll just say like, hey, what's your typical bra size? We'll start there and we'll go from there. And then, she can tell you, you can ask through the door even, hey, are you noticing any cupping? Is there any spillover? Those things. I can bring you a bigger size, a smaller size. What can I grab for you? Instead, especially occasionally you get a customer who's just really like, she wants that bra fitting, but she's super uncomfortable with it. And whether it's with a woman or a man, like you probably get this more often as a man, but you can still kind of walk them through it through the door without having to like get too up close and personal.
That's a great point. I think that is usually exactly how I start a fitting. If I get to that point, I'm like, what size are you normally wearing? So then when we measure, if something's way off, either I really messed up or she's really in the wrong size, and you work towards each other on it.
I think somebody was going to say this, but you have to get used to handling the tape and
Yes.
just actually doing the measurements. There's nothing but reps there.
yeah, I would practice like as you would be fitting somebody, because if you can get down the process to fit somebody, you can walk somebody through that process on themselves.
Elizabeth may be saving this for the end, but we're going to give everybody a bra or like a pair of shorts. Sorry for coming, but I think coming is step one. I think we need to have everybody fit somebody for a bra after this to actually get the product, just to make sure, because the best way to get comfortable with it is to practice on each other at the store. I think that is such a key to being a successful bra business.
Yeah, and even if like so in all honesty, and it's okay, whatever the answer is, Matt and Jenna they don't care, all right? How many people have not fit somebody for a bra yet? Okay. Yeah, and that's perfectly fine. And that's the first time you do it, it isn't like I said, I had no idea. I was like, yeah, sure, I can fit you. And thank God it was on this tape, because otherwise I didn't know what I was doing. Like, I wear bras, yeah, sure. That doesn't mean I can fit you for one. The first time you do it, you might be uncomfortable and you might be nervous. Don't rush through it. Don't worry about it. Like, take your time, make sure you do get the right stuff. But if you don't, then do it again, or have her do it, or be honest about it and say that, oh yeah, sure, like, here, you know what, why don't you try, and why don't you see what we get, and then try to somehow, again, let her take control, because again, we talked about it in the very beginning, like, this is one of the biggest deterrents for women in sports, is they're not comfortable up here, and so they don't even want to do it. So let them take control of that, let them take that back. And if they are frustrated, they're frustrated with what's going on and the pain that they're experiencing, don't let the fitting be a frustrating process. It's okay if it goes slowly. That means you're taking the time to get it right so that they're not feeling this way anymore.
Elizabeth, we've had more people cry out of happiness in bra fits than we've had out of shoe fits, for sure. It's a real game changer for these customers, especially people that have gained or lost weight. We've noticed that a ton, where they just, again, they're literally not running because they can't find something that works for them. And so by not by not getting them through a bra fit, we're really, we're really setting them back. And so that's why, I think that's why it's so important to have this conversation on the sales floor, because we're walking people away from running by not talking about bras.
It's also not an exact science. So if you don't get the right size the first time, that's okay. Like go back, remeasure, just like when you're measuring for shoes, like somebody may try on a shoes and it may be too tight or too loose. Like you can always get them another size. So don't get like too nervous about not getting the perfect measurement the first time.
Yeah, super important to not get too hung up on that yourselves. Like just know that it's a process where you're working towards it.
Yep.
And
All
then
right.
I can't really stress this enough. Once they have a bra or two that they're like, maybe this one, maybe that one, or they don't know and they think it's comfortable, have them, with the door closed in there by themselves, jump up and down, make sure it's not like uncomfortable, because bras that feel comfortable when you're just standing are not necessarily the ones that are comfortable when you are in action.
All right. All right. So I'm going to go over a couple of ending points here. I don't want to keep everybody too long, but I mean, this is just too good of a conversation to stop at 8. So Matt, if you could put up the presentation one more time, and we're going to go through like about 5 more slides here. There's not a lot of information and I talk quick. So I'll get to this slide in one of the next slides. So go ahead and go to the next one. All right. So how do you not make things weird? This is kind of the psychology of our customer. Again, that kind of Confluence way. Don't say the Confluence touch while you're taking their bust measurement. So the next slide, Matt, please. Never stop learning about your customer, number 1. So this is how do you not make things weird? How do you prove your value? How do you prove the value of the bra? How do you prove the value of the product? And here's how you be the expert. Here's how you prove to them, but that by the time you get to this point where you're saying, yep, let's go do a fitting, let me get the right fit for you, you're already the expert. They already trust you. They're already super comfortable with you. So how do you do that? Never stop learning about them. It's the same as a shoe fitting. Ask them questions. What do you want to do with the shoe? What are you doing in the shoe? Did you like the shoes you had on before? You put them through a couple of steps away from you and back to look at their gait. We're going to do a couple of measurements to get the right fit for you, to take a look at what's going on, to ask you questions. Are you in any pain? Have you experienced any lifestyle changes? These are all things that really matter. A lot of this stuff, she's probably already told you. So always be listening. It's no different than a shoe fitting. Next slide. Get up close and personal with the product. You're probably going to get up close and personal when you're doing a fitting, but when you're in your store, we have cameras in every store, so we're going to know when you're getting weird, but pick up the bras, touch them. Like, they're not scary things. All right. Just because you're a dude and you're picking up a bra and you're feeling the material and you're looking at the different stuff that's going on in a bra, it's not weird. Get to know the product, because you probably know every other product in the store, and even the females. I know we are all guilty of walking past that display when, like, we all have downtime sometimes. Grab one, look at it. If you're a female, go try one on. If you're a male, go try one on. Like, get to know what they feel like, what they have to offer. Look at the tag, look at the sizes, look at this, look at the measuring tape. Take a look at this stuff. Get up close and personal with it. And also, like, show them when they're walking in and you're talking to them about a bra. Be the person that does the scary thing first. Take it off of the hanger and show them, hand it to them. Say, yes, it has this feature. Look, it's ventilated down here, which is nice because this is where I always get boob sweat, or whatever it is. Talk to them, make them feel and get up close and personal with the product. Next slide. So the fab factor. So this is kind of where we're going to talk a little bit about the features and benefits, which is a Brooks term. Thank you very much. So what are the features and benefits of this bra? What are they going to get out of putting this bra on them? So this specific bra here has this adjustable strap here. So it literally, this is going to be a really poor demonstration, so make sure you all check the next time you're working. Grab this bra and take a look at the strap. this isn't just a weird feature that it has for fun. This actually helps a woman adjust and customize the fit to her. So it has this little hook here that comes out of these little, let's see, what do you call these?
J hook.
Yeah, the J hook, but then like the little loop. So you just
We call it the hook and ladder system.
hook and ladder. Hook and the ladder.
Yep.
See? Yeah. So
Like
and
for firemen.
and I've had a customer who like it wasn't fitting just right here, but the band was perfect, and she was like, I don't know. And I said, well, here, check this out. This thing is adjustable. Take this out and move it around, and it may, believe it or not, it may be different on either side. So, and that's a further way to customize this fit. She can decide for herself how she wants this to fit, and this also allows her body to change over time. It's going to kind of allow, it's just going to allow more adjustments.
She also doesn't expect to get this in a sports bra. In most runners' mind, a sports bra is a Nike Pro Combat bra, right? So they don't expect these features that make the bra perfect for them to exist.
Yep. So even more features like that. Like on this specific bra, it's got the ventilation here. You guys can't really see that, but this little triangle of dots here, it's ventilated right here because every female here, even males sweat here, but we sweat here a lot. And this is really nice to have. On the back, it's got these ventilated panels on the back, which is really nice because it's uncomfortable when it's hot to have sweat everywhere. It's just, and every bra has these different features. Do you carry your phone when you run? Do you go to the gym and want to put your keys in, but you don't have pockets? The bra has pockets. In fact, this one has 3 of them. Like, there's a lot of different features that these bras have. Tell her about them. Tell her why. Not only are they going to make you feel better, but they're going to make your life easier when you're running, when you're working out, when you're walking, no matter what you're doing.
The pockets are a layup, by the way. Like, they're the easiest thing out of everything you can talk about with them in a bra. The pockets are the easiest thing that you can talk about.
Especially because a lot of people don't realize that there is that back pocket for your
Yes.
phone. Like, that's a huge feature that you may not realize just by picking up the bra.
Yep. Have you ever had a woman here, or have you ever heard a woman talk about pockets in a dress? You can put snacks in them, you could do whatever. Nothing beats pockets in a dress that nobody knows about. Talk about pockets in a bra, like that's a game changer. You could fit so many snacks in there, in addition to your phone.
It's literally the biggest thing women talk about in their clothes. They're like, look at the pockets though.
Yep.
Also, so at Brooks, we have we have a biomechanical lab, and we also have what we call a runner insight lab that ask runners what they want in product. These bras get as much testing as our shoes do. So they go through the same rigorous biomechanical testing and runner insight testing as our footwear does. So the thought that goes into the details, the features, the fab, if you will, it's all the same as footwear. So we put a ton of research into this.
Yeah, like I said before, I think this is a good way for men, or for myself at least, to start the conversation, because you don't have the personal experience, the firsthand experience. So if you at least go over the features of what's in the bra and what makes it different than other things is important. The good part is, and I don't think Corning might have it, but we have on the gondola, is they give us nice little note card tech sheets right on it. So on your free time, just look at those and you kind of have that idea of what each bra does. And then as you're listing those features off, that can kind of, lead the customer into a different conversation.
Yeah, it just establishes credibility for you there too. It makes you feel like the expert.
Yeah, it makes them think you've put in the work to know the bra, right? And if you're willing to do that, I think most people are willing to go that next step with the fit process. Great point, Justin.
Yep, which is the next slide, which Matt, you don't have to put up, but it's be the expert. We've said it several times throughout this presentation. Be the expert. You're an expert on shoes because you deal with them every single day. You walk by the bra gondola every single day. Get to know them. Be the expert. They have the cards right on top of there. All you have to do is look at them. If you have questions, ask. We're not going to be like, you're being so weird for asking. We want ask and get to know these bras so that you feel more comfortable selling them. You want to prove the value of the bra, but you want to prove your value too. And you want them to know that you know what you're talking about. If you're a female, you're getting seated with a bra tonight, which we did already tell them, to be fair, but I was going to remind everybody, and then I was going to let everybody know that actually we're not doing shorts. Everybody's getting a bra, so that you guys, and that was thanks to Brianna, so you guys can thank
And
her.
you have to go run in them also.
Yes.
All the men.
I used to do guy only bra training sessions where I had ordered a bunch of the small medicine balls, and I would make guys put on Hanes bras, Nike bras, and Brooks bras and jump on a mini trampoline with them. And it was actually really good.
You should do shot puts.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Water balloons.
But just to bring back the slide here, be the expert. The thing is I think the first couple times they're very nerve-wracking, but it doesn't take long to become the expert. You get a couple good fits in, you get a couple good conversations in about it, and you see the rate of success with it. And it's really not I don't know, like I get frustrated with this side of the business because it should be the easiest part. Like the only reason it's hard is because it's hard to bring up the conversation. Every female customer that comes to the door needs this product, and she spends her money at Dick's Sporting Goods instead of your store. Because at sporting goods stores, they actually sell 2 sports bras for every pair of running shoes they sell. Whereas at running stores, we are lucky if we sell 1 sports bra for every 10 pairs of shoes that we sell. So
Because they're wearing it 2 at a time.
Yeah, right. 2 shitty bras at a time. But so, I think, again, just think of it in a way of like, we just owe it to the customer to have this conversation. We know what we are. We are the expert in everything run. And, this is that next level of service to the customer.
Yep. And this is this is a good segue into the last slide, which again, you don't have to put up, but just be yourself, like be you, be the expert. You know what you're talking about. And if you don't, there's somebody in the store probably that does, but if not, it's a good time to become the expert. You are going to, by talking about it, by learning about it, by experiencing it, by going through it, you're going to learn more, but you're going to come across in the most genuine way possible if you're just being you. Don't be pushy, compliment them, tell them, oh, doesn't that feel so much better? Like that, because it does. They know it does, but they're waiting for you to tell them that it does, because they've never put anything like this on before, probably. They're coming in, this is a big deal for them. It's a lot of money, and it's a big purchase, and they've probably never put anything like this on before. You tell them, does it feel good? You tell me, you're wearing it. What do you think? What do you think if you go out for a walk? What would you experience? What have you experienced before that you don't like? Be yourself, let your personality come through. Give them, make it light. We've talked about that several times too. And then give them a reason to come back. If a woman is not ready to commit, we offer $15 off a bra with a fitting. So let her know, hey, come back. Ask for me. If not, ask for the manager. His or her name is blah, blah, blah. One of us will be here. Ask for us, or give us a call. Set up an appointment. We're more than happy to do a fitting with you so that it's personal. We'll be here. You'll get me. And you get $15 off your bra. If we just go through a fitting, you don't have to buy it today, but come back.
That's a pretty easy conversation starter. $15 off. I mean, that's a no-brainer right there.
Yep. So just be you. It's not going to be in the way that I talked about it. Maybe it will be. But figure out what the best way is for you to bring that conversation up. What makes you feel more comfortable? Because if you're comfortable, then she'll be comfortable, and that's how we get more bra sales. So that's it. That's all I got.
Nailed it.
Drop the mic.
Yeah, and as you guys get into it, if you have questions, you can always email, call, text me or Luke. We're happy to help. We've seen literally everything. Luke and I, one of the most difficult fits we've ever had, we had a lady who had She had lat band surgery, I think, and she had lost a ton of weight. And she had a lot of loose skin, and her boobs were falling actually through the bottom because she could not get a band tight enough. And Luke and I were almost crying at the end of this night. I mean, it was like very like emotional. Like we felt so bad for her. We put her in contact with the Brooks team to try and even get further solutions. But like Brooks is passionate about this business. You know, it has been a part of our DNA for 25 years now, 25 years now. And you know, the products made by women for women, like, you know, we put so much into it that we really, you know, we owe it to the customer to tell this story.
So I actually have a question. I had one woman who came in. One woman who came in and she had a mastectomy, but only one side. What do you tell these people?
Yeah. You know, one great thing on the hook and ladder is that you can make one side tighter than the other. That's
She was like an F on the other side, though. Like it was a massive difference.
yeah. I remember back in the day, the Fiona was always the bra to go to for a mastectomy customer. So you know, I think that and you know, whatever has the most adjustability is going to be the best for that customer.
So I'm asking, do they have a prosthetic that they're going to run with or not?
Yeah. Some
She
people
didn't have one yet. She didn't have, she wasn't even running. She was just walking and trying to like get healthy.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, I think just going to something that has the most adjustability as possible is going to be her best bet. We've also seen, I think, a preference towards some compression on those too. So, you know, we didn't talk about this, but we have two collections, Dare and Drive. Drive is going to be more of a compression led because we learn, again, like Elizabeth was saying, there's a big preference here where same with shoes, right? Some people like really, really soft shoes. Some people don't necessarily like soft shoes. We launched our Dare collection and a lot of our customers were telling us that's not giving us enough support. But in our biomechanical testing, the statistics said that it did, but she was used to a compressive support. And so, you know, we designed the Drive collection for that customer who says, nope, that's not locking me down enough. I need that extra support, but compression in her mind is support. So again, these are all kind of the conversations you have on the floor in terms of like, what does she like?
Well, thank you, everyone. Anybody have any other thoughts, questions? I know a lot of you have been quiet. That's okay.
How
We'll
much,
have
what
more
it's
of these
worth.
conversations.
how much of those products do we have at the store? I never really noticed.
A lot.
You talked about several types.
Yeah,
Yes.
you pretty much have it all covered.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta be creepy then next time I go.
Oh, it's not creepy. We're not going to think it's weird. Grab those bras. Make sure we can see you, you know, don't take them.
I find you creepier if you don't, to be honest, Brian.
That's comforting.
Jake, do you have the I know we have it online somewhere. I think we talked about it. Do you have like the bra fitting tips for bros?
Yeah, let me see if I can
Video.
dig that up. Luke, do we have that on Miyagi?
It is on Miyagi. I just didn't know if it was readily available elsewhere because I know everyone should be on Miyagi, but
Yeah, I may be able to get a copy that you could just download offline.
I might have ripped it myself.
Okay.
It might be
Nice.
on my computer somewhere. But that is a very good video, even though we probably talked about 99.9% of it in this conversation. So any bro in the audience should check that video out.
Rob Rose.
So I do have two questions for everyone to think about during your next shift. One is, what do you guys need, like resources that might help you with these conversations, and what do you want to help you with these conversations? So think about that. as you go through some of your shifts, and let's have those conversations so we can put some of those things together. I'm gonna go save Jenna from Eliana.
I just wanted to add, and I'm waiting for Matt to come get her because she's very fussy right now. But
Hey, Matt.
so as Matt said, you know, you can use me as an example if you're talking to a woman about, you know, changes in size, changes in whatever. So I just wanted to give you my personal experience. I've had 4 babies. The first time I went from an A cup to a double D, back down to a C for a long time, and then kind of stayed at that like B, C level for 10 years. And then when I had Eliana, now I'm more like a F cup. So it's been a journey for me because I was not a runner through my first pregnancies. And then when I got, I tried to get back into running this time around, the things that I didn't expect was how much that band being tight really makes a difference for a woman with larger breasts. You want it snug. And if it's loose, you're gonna get chafe. And I'm talking on a 3-mile run. Like it's not pleasant. And then I also didn't, I am one of the people who likes the compression, but I'm used to like a compression bra because I was in just a basic bra before. The Drive convertible has been best for me, which is one that you can, it's the straps are straight and then you can clip it together in the back, which just feels like I'm being held in better. And then I can unclip it when I need to get out of it. The reason the other one I think doesn't work for me as well is because it just kind of comes up into my armpit a little more than I like. So it's really personal preference, I think. But I just wanted to give those of you who maybe didn't have a girlfriend or a wife to talk about their stories, you at least can.
Boob challenged.
Yes.
Yeah. Just that.
Hey guys, bottom line is like every time when you guys came on as shoe fitters, I can remember my first shoe fitting. I had sweaty palms. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. But you know, the more you do it, repetition, you learn about the products, you become the expert, you do the training, you do the work, you have the conversations. That's going to become just as much as the shoe fitting comfortability as the bra fitting process. So I mean, that's really the bottom line. Like it's the sweaty palm conversation at first, but like that's what we're here for. So all of this information was absolutely amazing, but we have to get our hands dirty. That's probably really the wrong way to say that.
How not to be weird, example.
You really got to get in there and play with the bra rack.
Got to be really hands-on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You never want to use this as a guide talking about when you're fitting either.
Don't
Like
want them to jump up and down.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, coming down to the conversation that we had at our last training, this isn't, yes, obviously it's a business, we want to sell more things, but at the end of the day, just like with our shoe fittings, we want people to be comfortable. We want people to feel more confident and stronger with what they're doing, and when they're going to Dick's and they're picking stuff out themselves, wearing 2 different bras just to keep themselves in, and it's still not working for them. They're still getting chafed. They're not having a good experience, and that's where we come in. So we just have to break through that conversation to allow people to know that exists for them, because they don't know that.
Absolutely.
And
Even
even
sports bra is like huge for a woman staying in her weight loss journey or her running journey. I mean, it's top.
And even if you get off this call right now and you're like, wow, that was cool, or you're like, wow, that sucked, I don't feel any more confident, and you get into work tomorrow or whenever your next shift is, and you have the opportunity and you panic, that's okay. text me, call Jenna, call Matt, call Luke, call Jake, don't call Chris. He'll tell you to just grab him by the horns and get dirty. But call one of us, text one of us, tell us what happened, what you wanted to do, but you didn't do it. Let us help you make you more comfortable. Let us help you feel more comfortable having that conversation and getting there. Because then when you do have the conversation, you better call me so that we can be like, yeah, you got somebody's boobs into a comfortable fitting bra and you changed their life. So
Yeah, we'll celebrate this for sure.
Cool.
Like in terms of like a big party, like Brooks is good at throwing those.
cool. Party on Jake and Luke. First bra.
All right, cool. Awesome. Thanks,
All
everybody.
right. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
Yeah, thank you guys for the time.
And happy birthday, Justin.
Oh
Happy
yeah, happy
birthday,
birthday, Justin.
Ooh, happy birthday, Justin.
Happy
gone?
birthday, Justin.
No, there he is. Yeah. Still. Happy birthday, dude.
I'm 31 now, so I think I need a little bit more support in my bagginess that's
Telling you.
going on in all my running.
How'd those new shoes go for you? Did you use them yet?
No, have not. But
He needs a new bra to go with them. So
I
that's what-
do need a new bra to go with it. I am wearing my Sherpa shorts though.
There you go.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
There we go. Our 65-degree weather today.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It was amazing. Love it.
Amazing.
All right. I'm
All
going
right.
to bed.
Guys, have a good night.
Go to bed.
Thank you guys very much
Right,
for
thanks, guys.
Night.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thanks for the boob pep talk, guys.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Wait.